All right, back online here. This is video 2 for those watching the video. I know I went over the upload. I'm not certified on YouTube or whatever, so it cut me off. Podcast, it's still running. Where was I? Okay, so by that time you kind of have a good idea. So go to a learning center. Maybe call some of the colleges and see if they have classes you can take and go talk to them and watch what they're doing. And at some point you're going to say, yeah, this is what I want to do. I volunteered in this. Maybe even get a part-time job at it for a year or two to make sure. If you've had careers and things, you might be a little unsure yourself. So get a part-time job doing it, even if it's not paid very much or nothing. Just do it for a couple years. At that point, you say, I'm tired of digging these ditches. I want to be out there on the stage. Or I'm tired of having to perform every week. I want to go sit in a little shed somewhere and two wires together over and over again, and then go fishing later. Cut off all your paths to escape. At that point, you make a plan. Within 6 months, within a year, I'm going to be doing this. Start looking for a job in it. Don't wait until you get a degree. Start looking for a job. If you need training, go into training too. Never stop educating yourself. And what you have to find out is your passion. Is that supposed to be a job or just a hobby? Because some people have a passion for something, like they want to play the drums. And they play the drums and they're so good and they can always play, and they play for hours and days and never go out and get a gig. It ain't for you, man. Keep playing the drums, but don't make that your career. Some people play the drums and that's all they want to do, and you go out and start getting drum jobs and they do it for free first, and they take classes and everybody starts calling them a drummer, and they drum for some parties and people at the party like, oh, I got to get this guy, and on and on and on, and they're in Def Leppard or something. So you have to know if your passion is a job or a hobby. Now, let me share you the reverse of this, and a lot of people will promote this. They say, just get some money. Do something that makes you the most money. Whatever you can do that makes you the most money, and then when you're rich or well-to-do, do anything you want. Now, there's nothing wrong with this, and a lot of people do it. A lot of billionaires have done this, but I submit, doesn't work. Not what we're talking about. I saw, who's Mr. Wonderful on, not Dragon's Lair, it's the American version of Dragon's Lair, Shark Tank. Mr. Wonderful. Who is Mr. Wonderful? Let me see if I can, gosh, I can't remember his name. I just saw this video too. You know who he is, so I'm gonna find it out here in a second. I'm fixing to learn myself something here because I can't believe I don't remember this. Mr. Wonderful. It's Kevin something. It's either Kevin something or something Kevin. Bob Dylan. Oh, there he is. Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary. Let's wiki him and see. Wiki's not always right, but it's got some info for you. We're going to start with. All right. Oh, come on. Give me a break. Soft keys. Okay. Terrence Thomas Kevin O'Leary. 154. He's 10 years older than me. He appeared on shows. He co-founded Soft Key Software Products, a technology company that sold software geared toward family education. Acquired rival companies. It was acquired by Mattel in 1999 with a sale, making him a multimillionaire. He says $3 billion or whatever. O'Leary was soon fired by Mattel after the acquisition resulted in significant losses and multiple shareholder lawsuits. I didn't know that. Listen, I'm not judging, I'm just reading from Wiki. So suffice it to say, this dude has money. Because I think he did Make like $3 billion off of that. And he's on Shark Tank all the time doing all that stuff. Now, is that his why? Is that who he is? Just somebody to make money? I don't know. If it is, he's right there. He's done a lot more than I'll probably ever do. I mean, gosh, probably at 14, he's probably got me beat my whole lifetime. But is that what's important to him? I don't know. Now, what if a stable family and not having to work too much and tending to his garden? Well, he wouldn't be very successful. He can buy a lot of things, but I've known people who can buy a lot of things. And I'll be honest, you know, I don't know that they're any better off than anybody else. Not a bad thing. I'm not knocking it. It's good to have money. But it's funny, I did a study once, and the personality or the outlook of the very poor and the very rich are the same. Because you see, they don't really have to do anything. If they're super poor, even someone, a hobo, he really doesn't have much he has to do. He's looking around for food. He goes to food things. He gets a little bit of money and borrows it, or will work for food and buys his food, and he sleeps under the thing. What's he got to worry about? You don't have a mortgage. You don't have insurance. You don't have to worry about other people. You don't have to worry about looking good. You don't have to worry about smelling good. Now, I'm not making fun, but that's a fact. And somebody really poor that works a farm, now it's hard work, but that's all they do. They don't have to worry about anything else. The very rich are the same way. They don't worry about anything. Everything is prepared for them. They have no worries. They don't care about anything. They don't care about what you're going through, what 90% of the population, they don't care. I'm not judging. But that's human nature. Why should they care? They can't do anything about it. They made their money. You go make yours. But if that's all it is, he's successful. But how many Kevin O'Learys are there? I mean, not very many. So I would say, to tell you that, do rich people stop earning? No. In fact, if you ask a group of people from poor to ultra rich, what would they say? What would they need to satisfy them as far as income? They will all give you a figure that is about 20% more than they have. So somebody making 10 years says, if I could just make 12 grand a year, I would be happy. Someone making 300 million, if he says, well, I could make 60 million more this year, I would be happy. But the fact is, you see, that's not how it is, because once you get to that point, it changes. Your outlook changes. If you're standing on the ground, you have a certain outlook. If you climb the top of a tree and look over, you have a much different outlet. In fact, this is an analogy which isn't logically, isn't a way to logically prove anything, but it does give you an idea of what people are talking about. There used to be these towers, and they're still in Florida. They look for fires, and they're just up above the treetops. They're about 50 to 100 feet high. I don't know how high. I've been up them. They're pretty high. You can see, you get up there, you see nothing for miles around, but you only see one thing, and that's treetops. You don't know if there's a building, if there's a house, if there's people, if there's plants. You don't know nothing. If there's a fire in the trees, you'll see it. That's what they're for. But you don't know anything else. So see, depending on your location or your situation, your vision can actually change. Not just your person, who you are. Oh, he doesn't care about anybody anymore. Well, he doesn't see it. Poor person doesn't see a mortgage. What does he care? So I don't think it works. I think your wants and desires grow with whatever you've got or change. So that's my advice for people who are trying to find who they are and what they are. And I'm going to leave you with this last secret to life. Whatever you do, really, it's a human nature that for something to be valuable for you, or to really get inside you and be passionate, and this goes with everything, with the relationships, with things you do, with things you own. There has to be some risk. That's why gambling is so great for most people. They love gambling. I don't gamble. I've never cared for it. It doesn't do anything for me. I get no in my heart about it. I risk other ways. Getting out in front of people and performing, that's a risk. But you have to have some risk. If you don't, if your reason in life has no risk, and everything has risk, that guy that puts those two wires together, well, the factory could explode, or he could go crazy, or the wires could zap him. I mean, there's some risk there. If it doesn't, though, you'll start to risk other parts of your life, like yourself, your family, your friends. So have a little risk in some of that stuff. So there you have it. I'll maybe expand upon some of these things as we go along. Any companies out there want me to review their gear, shoot me whatever you want to. Email, IM, DM, message. You can find me at Tony Underwood Music anywhere. On a website, you can email me, info@tonyunderwoodmusic.com. You can DM me, IM me, whatever. LMNOP, whatever you call all that. Text me. Go to my website. You can go to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, and a podcast now too. I don't know if you can. I'm sure you can message me on the podcast. I'm pretty sure you can. So there you have it. That's my kind of rambling thing, but I hope you've gotten some good things out of it. If you got a chance, look me up on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever and listen to some of my music. Buy some of my music at CD Baby and Apple if you still buy music. I don't think people still buy music, but it's there. When you sign up for these PROs or admins, not PROs, admins, they can sell your music. Let me know how you're doing. I'd love to just hear how you're doing. That have nothing to do with nothing. So this is George in Iowa, and man, the rains came and took my barn out. I don't care. I'd love to hear from you and hear about you. Love to hear what you think about what I'm doing, because I always want to make it better. If you're watching this, you can tell it's kind of low cost here. So I'm working on getting that better. You can, on the YouTube, there's a Patreon there, or a tip jar. Knock me a tip, and I'm going to put all that into upgrading. And I have my own money, and I'm going to be using it, but every little bit helps. Excuse me. So there you have it. I wish you a wonderful week. I got the hiccups all of a sudden. That's embarrassing. Anyway, have a great week. Go out and get you some of this life. It's the only life you got. Be around people who are promote you, support you, and believe in you. And if the people around you don't, get you some new people. Now, if you're a family, living in a family, just don't get rid of the bad stuff. Just start doing the good stuff. TV's not bad for you. It's the fact you're not doing other things. Do your other thing and watch TV when you're tired of that other thing, or if you got a show you have to watch. So somehow I'm killing myself here with this burping, the hiccups. So I'm going to try to get rid of them. Catch all my podcasts. We'll see you next week. Have a great one. And like I said, let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear from you. Good, bad, or ugly, I don't care. Troll me. I mean, at least it, gives me something to do. All right. Y'all have a great one. Thanks so much.